The next distinguished to honor us with his presence is Dr. Hitendra Kumar Rai. He is a senior scientist and in charge All India Coordinator Research Project on micro and secondary pollutant elements in soil from Jawaharlal Nehru Krishi Vishwavidyalaya, Jabalpur. He has guided 3 PhD and 16 MSc students. He has handled 10 research projects, out of which 6 as principal investigator and 4 as co-principal investigator. He has organized total 4 workshops, conference, and symposia. He has published more than 40 research articles in reputed national and international journals. He published 1 book and 12 as a book chapters. Now I would like to call upon Dr. H.K. Rai, sir. Sir, please, sir, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Pandya. Can you allow me to share my screen?
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay. Very good morning to my elders, both D.K. Singh sir, Dr. D.K. Singh sir from vegetable and Dr. D.K. Singh from agronomy. I cannot say my close friend. I say they're my nearest well-wishers. Thank you, sir, for remembering me. I would like to convey my regards to all the participants and thanks to Dr. Pandya Raj for inviting me to for this lecture. Here, I am going to speak on conservation agriculture, way towards crop residue recycling and soil health sustainability. We can understand what we'll discuss in this talk. First, in first part, there is conservation agriculture. I'm audible?
You are very much audible, sir.
Okay. So, in first part, there is conservation agriculture, 2 words. In second parts, recycling of crop residue and sustaining soil health. So first we should understand what is conservation agriculture. And if we are talking about conservation agriculture, then we must know what is the need to adopt conservation agriculture. The journey of conservation agriculture in India started from Pantnagar. When I was there as a student, first zero-till drill was a prototype of zero-till drill was fabricated by Professor T.C. Thakur from Farm Power Machinery Engineering. He designed a prototype to put the seed.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Soil.
Sir, please go through slideshow, sir. Please go through slideshow.
Slideshow.
Yes,
okay. Sir. Okay. Is it okay? Is it okay now?
Yes, sir. Now it's okay, sir.
Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now it's okay. You can proceed now.
So, okay. Why they have gone for producing the prototype for zero-till drill? Initially at schooling, we have been taught if you want to grow cereal, you have to pulverize the soil. And if you want to grow pulses, you don't pulverize. In literal meaning, what we have been taught, ro rahe gehu dhel hai chana. Means if you want to grow wheat, you should pulverize your soil. The science behind the pulverization was to facilitate the mineralization of organic matter in soil, so that nutrients could get mineralized and be available to plant. But in race of producing more by using high analysis fertilizer to feed the generation, we have forgotten about soil health, which resulted in poor organic carbon content in soil. When our produce are in surplus, then we look back to see the soil health. If organic carbon in soil is not there, then what is fun to till the soil, to pulverize the soil, or to prepare the seed bed? With that ideas, this zero till was initiated as conservation tillage, not conservation agriculture. Conservation tillage. As a resource conserving technology, zero tillage was introduced in India. But as my elder Dr. Dhananjay Singh told, that if you are incorporating the crop residue, it create immobilization, means mineral nutrition will bounded with organic matter. There are huge reference available from PAU, Dr. Bijay Singh and Dr. Yadvinder Singh. They have done a lot of work on that, which showing that if you are incorporating the crop residue in soil, you have to put more nitrogen at least. Otherwise, you are not going to get potential or optimal yield of current crop. So with that, the idea of conservation agriculture came up with three major pillars. First one, not to disturb or less disturb the soil. Second, retain or recycle the crop residue. And third, diversify the rotation, cropping. A number of times, students asked me, sir, why it is called zero tillage, though you are showing the tractor is moving in the field. So there is a very fine difference between tillage and seeding. If you are putting the seed by passing your tractor, you are not tilling the field. Tilling means preparing the seed bed, or managing the weeds, or opening the soil for aeration and temperature regulation. If you are doing this, then you are tilling the field, that is tillage. But if you are putting the seed by one pass, you are not tilling, you are seeding. That's why it is called zero tillage or no tillage. So the complete conservation agriculture concept consider three pillars: minimum mechanical soil disturbances or no tillage. Second, permanent organic cover on soil surface or residue retention on soil surface. And third, diversify the crop rotation. So these three pillars together called conservation agriculture. Here is the scenario. So global coverage of CA. It was started somewhere in 1974 at Brazil. The coverage under CA during 1974 was only 2.8 million hectare, which reached to around 125 million hectare in 2011. When we consider India scenario, in India, CA was started with no tillage in the last 90s, and which currently spread about up to 300 million hectare. Why we should go for conservation agriculture? Here are some potential of CA: recycling of crop residue, sequestration of carbon, and arresting the decline of factor productivity, minimizing soil erosion and nutrient losses, enhance the nutrient and water use efficiency, reduce water demand by cutting evaporation losses, check non-point pollution, minimizing greenhouse gases emission from soil, improve biological activity and diversity. So overall, the potential of CA includes recycling of crop residue, better use of natural resources, reduce cost of production, efficient input usage, and sustainable higher productivity. So these are the regions which necessitate the adoption of conservation agriculture in India. So our major focus is recycling of this crop residue. So potential of protecting soil with crop residue, that means farming with crop residue. In India, about 679.9.3 million tons of crop residue generated annually, of which 70% is contributed from cereals, either rice, wheat, maize. The nutrient potential is about 5.6 million ton, which we have to communicate in farming community, that if you are not utilizing or recycling the crop residue, you are spoiling about 5.6 million ton of plant nutrients. It improves soil health, protect from erosion and restore soil property. It enhances soil biological health by providing the substrate for microbial energy requirement. Then it enhances the microbial diversity and activity by providing food for soil organism. If it is so beneficial, why farmers prefer burning of crop residue? First of all, I would mention their mindset. They don't bother for global warming, GHG emission. They concentrate their focus on catching the next crop, sowing. How they could catch the proper timing of sowing of succeeding crop. By burning, they get easier to till the field. They prefer burning in sort of labor by increasing labor cost. Their mindset is, if you burn the crop residue, your wheat population will reduce. Nowadays, the cattle population at village level is decreasing, so their feed requirement also decrease. So in two crop, rice and wheat, they burn at least one crop residue. And but nowadays it focused in advertisement faster decomposition of this crop residue. So they burn because it takes time. What is the effect of burning? As Dr. D.K. Singh told, huge loss of nutrient, emission of gases, and reduction in microbial diversity. So we have to convince the farmer not to burn. And in that process, we must need some background information why they should not burn. Otherwise, farmers are very clever. They adopt only those technology which they found that this is going to benefit me. So we have to communicate the farmer what they are losing by mismanaging the crop residue. Then it is good source, crop residue or good source for seed sequestration. Here is some estimates. Ratanlal given in 2017, around 664 million ton of crop residue are being produced per year, of which 332 to 433 million ton is come from the cereals. It contains around 40% carbon. So if 50% is recycled, around 13.3 million ton carbon is sequestered per year by considering 10% humidification efficiency. Nowadays, this carbon credits concept is coming. In that term, around 1.6 billion US dollar we are crediting through residue management. If we can manage, then we could manage $1.6 billion per year. Another importance of crop residue recycling is its nutrient content. I'm here just showing the major nutrient content in different crop residue. So if we recycle these crop residue, we can save this much amount of nutrient to spoil. Then two component of CA, minimize the tillage intensity and increase the residue retention on soil surface. Based on that, retention by up to 30%, it will call reduced tillage. And if we minimize or no tillage is there with 30 to 90% crop residue retained on the soil surface, we call it conservation tillage practice. Here the scenario, contribution of crop residue available in India. This is 2009 data. Around 70% is from crops, the cereal crop, of which 58% is remain unutilized, or you can say it used as burning. 2% sugarcane traces, 2% pulse, 23% fibrous crop, 7% oilseed crop, and 8% other crop residue are available for management. Now we have to convince farmer what actually they want. The option for managing this unused crop residue, in first picture, either they can burn it and cause the problem for society, or they can use some machinery and put the seed in residue without tilling. I hope the second option is better, because in that we are not only protecting our generation from pollution, global warming, but also save the soil and other natural resources without surrendering any yield. Here some studies are there. What happened if you recycle the crop residue? And on x-axis, this is extent of crop residue covered, this soil surface covered by crop residue, and on y-axis, this is reduction of soil erosion. You can see here, as you increase the crop residue retained on soil surface, your soil erosion decreased. This glimpse is from Bertie Salz. where clay content is more, so the naked soil are eroded more fastly. Then the second component of this
Yes, sir. Thank
here
you,
is some principle of conservation agriculture to reduce the soil disturbances or minimize the soil disturbances, cover the this soil surface from crop residue, then residue mulching, control the microclimate or manage the microclimate, promote the carbon sequestration, optimize the nutrient management, and promote the this soil biodiversity. Here again, this is the the first component: minimize or cut the soil this soil disturbance, or cut the soil tillage. For that, you need some sophisticated machineries. Initially, it was just time for open the slit, but now fifth generation machines are available with this disc planter. In that case, you can use 35 horsepower tractor with disc planter because in fourth generation machine, this happy seeder was promoted, but it required heavy tractor, at least 55 horsepower tractor. So most of the farmers are not able to purchase big tractor. In putting in mind that problem, nowadays very light disc planters are available in the market, which can be operated by 25 to 35 horsepower tractors. So this I have already told. So in this conservation tillage or minimum tillage, there are different types based on the disturbance in soil. This zero tillage or no tillage are the technique of conservation tillage, which also synonyms as zero tillage or direct seeding or pasture cropping. For those who are students appearing in the examination or competitive examination, this question is asked frequently: what is pasture cropping? So this, it is nothing, just tillage practice without tilling the field, put the seed in the field. Then after no till, this minimum tillage, in which what DK Singh sir was telling, by moldboard plow, put one pass of tractor, put the residue below the soil and seed the crop. But in that case, you have to apply some excess amount of nitrogen. So this is minimum tillage. Then strip tillage is again kind of conservation tillage, in which we just disturb the soil for putting the seed, and between the row, it is the residue retained on the soil surface. For this practice, there are a number of machineries available, but the drawback of this system, you can put only the crop which are shown on large distance. Our row spacing is more. The benefit of this kind of tillage is to protect the evaporation from soil and utilize the crop residue as surface cover. It also facilitate or improve the activity of soil microbes and increase the microbial population. Then mulch tillage. In this, we just put the seed below the mulch by disc, or some chopper is there. At the same time, when we are putting the seed, your this chopper chop the crop residue and spread uniformly on the soil surface. Here is another conservation technique, conservation tillage technique. It is called furrow irrigated raised bed, but it is only beneficial when we go for permanent beds. When I was working at CIMIT, we have demonstrated or experimented this technology at Modipuram, and this is very good technology. You can put different crop on different spacing. For example, if you you are growing maize wheat cropping system, you put maize in the middle of your bed. However, wheat you can grow on the corner of the bed. This 67 centimeter wide bed, 30 centimeter height, but it is again governed by the soil types. If you adopt this technology in vertisols, this is not going to work, but it is very good for molly soils or alluvial soils, where this beds are remain same or remain there during even high intensity of rainfall. But in vertisols, here we cannot get succeeded for this raised bed, because high clay content in high rain intensity cause this demolish the beds. So this is not useful practice for heavy soils or high clay content soil. Here are some glimpses of our experiment at Modipuram. We had grown this rice wheat and maize wheat cropping system, and it was very productive. Here are some data, an effect of this tillage practice on crust, or you can say penetration resistance of soil. What is penetration resistance? When after seeding there is rainfall, that rainfall can seal the pores, and a compact layer is formed on the soil surface. Here is the day after rainfall, and on y-axis this is penetration resistance or crust strength in megapascal. You can see when we go for this no tillage, the compaction or crust strength is reduced, and in dark bar it is conventional tillage system. After 16 days, it is the strength of that crust is around 1.7 megapascal, which a seed cannot penetrate. Or this after germination, the plumule emergence in the field will not take place if you go for this conventional tillage system. For that, you have to break the crust by some implement. But in case of no tillage, you can see here is the crust strength is very less, and it is almost uniform. So crop can emerge under this no-till system. Here is organic carbon content under conventional tillage and zero tillage system. There are two sites result are there. You can see at different depth, the carbon content in soil increased in zero tillage system as compared to conventional tillage system. So it not only protect the soil from erosion, the retention of crop residue with minimum tillage also enhance the soil health, soil quality. This is basically 4-year mean data. Then another experiment of Bhattacharya. Here the cropping system, if you adopt the tillage practice in cropping system, in first, this is conventional tillage in Rabi and conventional tillage in Kharif. Carbon content you can see at 0 to 5 centimeter depth, 5 to 15, and overall up to 0 to 15 centimeter. You can see when we adopt no-till, double no-till system for Rabi and Kharif, this is basically six crop cycle. After six crop cycle, you can see the in last row it is 24.81 megagram carbon per hectare. So a buildup of organic carbon in soil under double no-till system as compared to conventional till, in first row. So what I mean to say here, if you minimize the tillage practice, you will reduce the oxidation of soil carbon. If oxidation is minimized, the buildup will be more. That's why now we are advocating adoption of conservation tillage or no tillage, because nowadays biggest problem for agriculture sector or for soil is least organic carbon, presence of least organic carbon in soil. So we have to increase the carbon content in soil. Another finding is if you go with zero tillage, your rhizobium population, rhizobium cells increase in soil as compared to conventional tillage. Then earthworm population, you can see here under conventional tillage, the earthworm population is less than 5, however, per meter square. However, in zero tillage, the earthworm population is much higher than conventional tillage, might be because of shortage of food material, frequent opening of soil can cause the picking by birds. So we have been taught that these earthworms are friends of farmer, but under this conventional tillage or excessive tillage, the friends of farmers are disappearing from soil. So if we promote the minimum disturbances of soil, we will promote the population of earthworm in soil. Then other than this soil and residue, if we adopt the conservation tillage, we cut the cost of fuel, because in zero tillage, by one pass we put the seed. However, in conventional tillage, here it is 2004 data when we worked at Modipuram, around 1200 rupees per hectare a farmer can save at the time of putting the seed in the field. So if 12,000 per hectare a farmer can save, it can be utilized later on other inputs. Then component 2, we have discussed component 1 of CA, that is minimum mechanical disturbances of soil. Component 2, the retention of crop residue on soil surface. So as I have told, the option could be burning, could be removal, or could be retention. So as I have told, burning is not feasible at all. It is going to harm not only farmer, but also the nation and at national level. By removing of some part of residue can be utilized by some industries as a fuel, but in agriculture sector, it is better to recycle or reutilize the on-farm this residue or on-farm waste in the field. During this lockdown period, we have organized one talk of Dr. Ratan Lal, and he told that if you want to sustain agriculture, you have to return the you have acquired the, or you can utilize the grain for yourself and return the residue to soil. Only then your agriculture system will be sustainable. So this I have already told. Yeah. Bulk density of soil indicates the extent of compaction, presence of organic carbon, aeration, like that. And here you can see this 2013 data is there. If you retain the residue on soil surface within the year or within some year, you will find that your bulk density of soil is reduced. You can see on x-axis the amount of residue retained at the soil surface, and on y-axis it is bulk density of soil. You can see if you retain crop residue, at least for of one crop, or 50% crop residue of rice and wheat, because on an average 6 ton residue is produced by wheat and around 7 to 8 ton residue from rice. So if you retain half residue of both crops, you will find your soil bulk density is reduced, and which is very beneficial for your crop production. Yeah, here as in Ghatala from Karnal, they have studied the effect of residue retention and this reduction in tillage. Rice-based cropping system, rice wheat, and maize wheat cropping system under zero tillage, maize wheat mung bean, zero tillage of rice wheat mung bean, and conventional tillage of rice, of wheat, and transplanted rice. No residue retained. Here is scenario of soil erosion with surface cover residue. Then infiltration. Yesterday, Prime Minister Modi was telling capture the irrigation water or catch the rain. For that, we have to increase the infiltration rate of our soil. And for that, we have to recycle the crop residue, because by this slide, I want to show if you retain the crop residue on the surface at 30 days after sowing. This is basically sandy loam soil of Jammu. Here you can see at 30 days after sowing, without residue, the infiltration rate is 1.85 centimeter per hour. But if you retain the crop residue, it not only decrease the crop, this runoff, but increase the infiltration rate and recharge the soil profile. Then again, organic carbon and residue incorporation in first, this conventional tillage without crop residue. If you go with conventional tillage plus crop residue incorporation, your organic carbon content is 6.3. But if you go with no tillage and residue retention on the soil surface, your organic carbon is further increased by 6.7 gram per kg. So what Dr. D.K. Singh was showing at Pantnagar, if you incorporate the crop residue, it is least effective or less effective as compared to residue retention on the soil surface with no tillage under different cropping system. Here is yield of different sites. Under conventional tillage means high tillage, more tillage without residue. Conventional tillage, residue incorporation, and no tillage, residue retention. You can see here in case of no tillage with residue retention on the soil surface, your wheat yield is increased. Then third component of CA is diversification of crop If you go with serial or pulse, in pulse cases, you will find less remunerative. But if you diversify the crop rotation or diversify your system, uh, by this you can ensure the return from your cropping system. What we are doing here, we are in this intercropping soybean with jowar in 4:2 ratio. Uh, in, after 4 row of soybean, there is 2 row of jowar. Soybean pigeon pea, the sunflower soybean, and soybean maize. By this, we can promote the soil health and ensure the return in case of erratic weather condition. Then with crop diversification and minimum disturbance of soil, you can see the impact on organic carbon. Under both the cases, either it is sorghum clover or soybean wheat, both the cases, no-till improve the organic carbon in soil. Here, the microbial activity or microbial soil respiration means microbial activity. You can see under this conventional tillage minus residue, the soil respiration is high, which ultimately impact the contribute the global warming by CO2 emission and improve or deplete the carbon soil. Yes. Then we can conclude the talk that continuous retention of crop residue on soil surface coupled with no-till is key component of CA. Equal or even higher yield of crops can be achieved under CA as compared to conventional tillage system. No-till along with surface residue improves soil health, moisture conservation, temperature moderation, and weed control. CA promotes input use efficiency, crop diversification, then environmental quality, and reduces fallowing. It is big problem basically in rain-fed or rain-fed condition. It reduces the fallowing and cost of production by cutting the irrigation and this seeding cost. Overall, CA is a machine and management driven eco-friendly agriculture system. So we all are emphasize the adoption of CA by the farmers to curtail their cost of production, and it could be very useful for managing the crop residue, even doubling the farmer income. So thank you very much for giving me opportunity to speak and your patience listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Dear participants, if you have any query, you can post in chat box or you can directly speak to Dr. H.K. Rai by unmute your mic. So it seems no question in the chat box, sir. Yeah. Okay. So I'm thankful to Dr. H.K. Rai for gracing this webinar with his presence and shared his exemplary knowledge about conservation agriculture with us. The contents of all your presentation slides were depicted with a good amount of facts and data. Sir, your talk would certainly much helpful us for saving our planet, for bestow our future generation. This knowledge may help us to revamp the agricultural practices towards much eco-friendly fashion. On the behalf of Organizing Committee, College of Agriculture, Ajamgarh, thank you once again, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your vast knowledge with us.
Thank you, Dr. Pandya.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you, Dean College of Agriculture, Ajamgarh, Dr. D.K. Singh, sir, my elder brother. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.